Thank you for joining this lesson. Remember to subscribe to this channel and to also share the link with your friends. So today we're going to study graphical solution of quadratic equations, and we're going to be guided by the question in this page, whereby we are told to complete the table below for the equation y equals to x squared plus 3x minus 6 for x ranging between -6 and +4. Therefore, the table has already been plotted for us. We just have to fill in the blank spaces. Therefore, the value of y when x is -6 is given as 12. And for us to get 12, we simply have to substitute -6 where we have x in the equation relating y and x. Therefore, for example, we open brackets and have -6 squared, then plus 3, we open bracket again, we fix -6 minus 6. So this gives us +12. If now we fill -5 for the value of x, -5 squared plus 3 into -5 minus 6, this will give us +4. So in the next, we will have +4. Then we have to use -4 again to get the value of y. -4 squared plus 3 into -4 minus 6. This gives us -2. So this is -2. When x is -3, we have y as -6. Let us look at the value of y when x is -2. So we will have brackets -2 squared plus 3 into -2 minus 6. So this gives us -8. So we will have -8 in that space. We can also use -1 and see the value we will get. So -1 squared plus 3 into -1 minus 6. This gives us -8 again. -8. We again have a +1 because at 0 we have -6. So let us look at +1, whereby we will have 1 squared plus 3 into 1 minus 6. This gives us -2. At +2, we will have 2 squared plus 3 into 2 minus 6. We will have +4. And finally, at x equals to 3. So 3 squared plus 3 into 3 minus 6. This gives us +12. So the table of values is now completely filled. The next thing is to use a scale of 1 centimeter to represent 1 unit on the x-axis and 1 centimeter 2 units on the y-axis. Draw the graph of the equation above. So we draw the graph now. We have the graph here. Of the graph here, let me plot first of all the Cartesian plane. So this will be the y-axis, and then we will have the x-axis. So we will have x-axis at this point. At this point. So for the y-axis, we are using intervals of 2 units for every 1 unit. So that from 0 we have -2, -4, -6, -8, -10. Then now from there we will have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. From there we have 12, 14, 16, 18. Then now we will have 1 unit for every small square. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So let me fill that. Let me now plot the points. Since the Cartesian plane can be seen now, we have coordinate -6, 12. So at this point we are going to beyond -5. So -6, +12. -6 is here, -6 and +12. So where they intersect, we get our first plotted coordinate. So that is the first plotting. -5, +4. So -5 and +4 is a coordinate here. The coordinate is there. We have -3 and -6. So -3 is going with -6. So this point. After that, we have -2 and -1 with -8. So at -2, we have -8. And also at -1, we have -8. Then at 0, we have -6. So at 0, we have -6. So this is the point. At 1, according to the table, we have -2. This is the point. At 2, we have +4. So at 2, we have +4, which is here. +4. And at 3, we have +12. At 3, +12. I think the coordinate at 4 will not fit in this scale. Therefore, now this one is the plotted points. These are the plotted points. So now we are going to connect the plotted points for us to come up with the graph now. The graph of a quadratic curve. A quadratic curve. Therefore, let me plot the graph by connecting all the dots. Remember to subscribe to this channel and to also share the link with your friends. So this is the turning point. We turn to the other side of the curve. So this is the graph, the quadratic curve for that equation. I have plotted and connected all the dots to come up with a quadratic graph. Therefore, now this is the graph of y equals to x squared plus 3x minus 6. So that is the graph. So far we have 6 marks for filling a table and plotting. Then after plotting, we've connected the plotting points to come up with a quadratic curve. After that, we are being told to use the graph to solve the equation x squared plus 3x equals to 6. This means we can bring 6 to the other side so that we have x squared plus 3x minus 6 equals to 0. And now we usually subtract any equation from the plotted equation so that we may get the line which will guide you to the solution. So we're going to subtract y equals to x squared plus 3x minus 6 and 0 equals to x squared plus 3x minus 6. And when we subtract these two equations, we are getting y equals to 0. Therefore, we are going to plot line y equals to 0. Then we follow it so that we may get the values of x. Therefore, line y equals to 0 is the x-axis. Therefore, when we try to consider this graph now, we can realize that the y-axis is cutting the curve at -4.4. So the values of x are negative 4.4, and x again is equal to positive 1.2. 1.2. Therefore, the two values of x are negative 4.4 and 1.6, because these are the parts of x where y equals to 0 cuts the curve. We can look again for the next equation. Which line are we going to follow? When we take y equals to x squared plus 3x minus 6, we subtract 0 equals to x squared plus 3x minus 2. When we subtract, we're going to get y equals to x squared. This one gets eliminated, 3x gets eliminated, and we are getting y equals to negative 6 minus negative 2 becomes plus 2, and that takes us to negative 4. Therefore, we're going to use line y equals to negative 4. So line y equals to negative 4 is going to be this one. This is y equals to negative 4. So we draw an horizontal line at this point. Horizontal line. So this is line y equals to negative 4. And at line y equals to negative 4, we can see the line is cutting the curve at x equals to, this is 0.6. This is 0.6. So x equals to 0.6. And the other coordinate where the line y equals to negative 4 is cutting the graph is at this point. Therefore, it is also cutting the curve at point negative 3.6. Negative 3.6. X is also equal to negative 3.6. So those are the values of x where the respective lines are cutting the graph. Thank you for following. Subscribe and share.